Managing recurring tasks. This video will discuss the creation of recurring tasks in IAM Pool Care. This is the last video in the IAM Pool Care Setup series. We've talked about the creation of users, the importing of pool owner data, the managing of routes, assigning customers to those routes, and setting the default route sequence. We have also talked about the items that would be used when we create tasks or work orders. Now, let's create the recurring tasks that will make the route for the technicians appear on the schedule calendar with the list of tasks. Also select customers from the persistent ribbon menu at the top of the page in IAM Pool Care. Now you have the option of filtering customers by route. Select a customer. The tabs on this page display information for the selected customer. Let's go ahead and create the recurring task for this customer. Click on the Task tab. Click on the Add Recurring Task button. On this form, all the fields that are in yellow are required. The task starts on date is the day of the week this task will begin. The task expires on date is optional. If you enter a date, IAM Pool Care will not schedule tasks past the expires on date. If you leave this date blank, IAM Pool Care will perpetually schedule these recurring tasks based on the service recurrence. Next, you'll select a service type. Remember, these are the service types from the item master that were defined in the service items availability group. This is the item price that is displayed in the item master. This price will not get displayed when it's on the scheduled event. The customer will not see the item price. You can override that default price by entering a price in the custom pricing field. This custom price will get billed based on the billing recurrence. We'll talk about that in a little bit. The next selection is the service recurrence. You want to make sure that you have selected the proper service recurrence, since you can create recurring tasks for any number of items such as annual pool opens, semi-annual filter cleanings, quarterly cell cleanings, and whatever service recurrence type you can select from this service type drop-down list. You're going to want to select the appropriate service recurrence. Most pool cleanings are done on a weekly basis. You'll next want to assign the technician to the correct day for this task. If we know that this is an established route, go ahead and select the technician for it. If this was a new customer, you could select the technician availability tool, and then IAM Pool Care will show you all the customers in proximity to this customer, which route they are on, and the technician assigned. You can quickly see who should be assigned to this customer. Next, we're going to select the billing recurrence. You can define when you want the invoice date in IAM Pool Care. You now have options of communicating to the customer when you complete those weekly tasks. The technician will want to document as accurately as possible all that they are doing. Choosing the configuration options will determine what is communicated in that email to the customer. First, do I want to communicate these instructions to the homeowner? You can say yes, and the homeowner will receive an email. The homeowner needs to have a valid email address in their customer profile and has not opted out of receiving emails. Also, the technician needs to have the permissions to send the email. The permissions include a consumables option. You need to decide if you want to include any chemicals that were used during that weekly visit in the service log email to the customer. Invoice type. Here are some common invoice types. There's flat rate separate consumables, flat rate list consumables, and each visit. To learn more about invoice types, please read the documentation or view our video on invoice types. And the last option is, do I want to include the technician comments in the email? You may or may not want to have those comments sent to the homeowner. Recurring note is for the technician. These are reminders for the technician to perform some task, maybe to lock the gate or to put the controller out of service mode. Once you're done with all of your options, you'll click Submit. This will create the recurring task for this customer. To see the task on the schedule, you must click on the schedule calendar. From the schedule calendar, click on the technician's name for the day of the week the recurring task is scheduled. You've just created a scheduled event for this customer. Of course, you're going to want to go to every customer for that route and continue the rest of your setup by creating recurring tasks for each customer. This ends this video on configuring recurring tasks in ION Pool Care.